on an Egun stick. An Egun stick is a piece of tree, basically, that must stand taller than you, that represents the energy of your ancestors. And it must be washed, it must be fed, it must be consecrated. Normally they ask you to dress it to your own liking, but one of the things that we always put on there are ribbons and bells. And when we're doing different services for ancestors and we're doing things to call in the ancestors and incantations, we bang the staff to call their energy forward. So the stick is something that you should not buy. Okay, it is something that you go and find in the woods. And when I say find, we take 4 pieces of coconut, which we consider obi, and we do our majubas. We have to do our omitutus, and we have to call on the name of our ancestors while we're out there to ask them to point out the stick that you want. We will go through, there's been a time we've gone through, sometimes we be intuitive, so we know which stick they want, right? We do the thing, we'll throw, they'll say, this is the one. We'll take it home, it gotta be washed, it gotta be fed, it has to be set up. There's ceremony and a service that goes into that. But you have to do you gotta throw. You have to divine to see if this is the one that they want before you bring it home. Remember, all of these things that come from nature have a life force, has an energy that resides with it. So you don't want to just bring anything in your house. These are the things that we do when we set up traditional ancestral altars. It's not considered an altar. It's more of a what do you call it? Shrine. Traditionally, that's what they call it. It's just shrine. And so when we're calling the ancestors' names and we're singing songs to them, we'll bang the stick, letting them know we're calling you, come forward, and they come to that call of that stick. Just like they'll come to the call of a native will come to the drum, or a spirit will come to the call of a bell. It's the same thing with the staff and the stick. And that stick is something that has to be fed. Whenever you're feeding your ancestors, you feed the stick too. When you're feeding your ancestors, because you also get with that stick, you're supposed to get an otan. An otan is a rock that you also have to go to the woods, do a throw to find out if this is the rock that your ancestors want. And that rock is what is washed, fed, ceremony prepared for your ancestors. So whenever there's blood spilled, that is the essence that's being fed to that rock. Remember in the beginning of this, I said if your ancestors don't have anything that represents them when something's being fed, then they're not being fed. We use a rock that comes from nature, but the ancestors have told us that this is the particular rock. You'll be out there all day looking at rocks until you find the one that they say yes to. They really, yes, they lead you to it. They show you what they want, but it must stand taller than you.